Hi Roomies, it's Roma, and today we're gonna switch things up a little bit, and we are going to go to one of my favorite restaurants on the Strip, Mon Ami Gabi, and I thought I'd take you along with us. Today we're going to have a little breakfast and talk about French-inspired designs, and throughout the video today I will be linking different products and different images and different French-inspired designs, so that if you would like to create that in your home, the pieces that we connect with the video, you can use those as inspiration for your own home. So let's go in, get some breakfast, and take a peek and see what we find. So we are at Hotel Paris on the Las Vegas Strip. And if you've ever been to Paris, it is sort of recreated here in this particular restaurant. We are at Mon Ami Gabi. And I do like coming here, especially if you can sit outside and have a view of the Bellagio fountains. It's pretty nice. I have only been to Paris once, and it was many years ago, but I do feel that this still sort of recreates that feeling of just France, and you sitting outside and eating good French food, and that sort of vibe. I remember that when we went, just sitting outside and having coffee, which I said I don't really drink coffee, but coffee in France is probably some of the best you can get. I mean, it doesn't have that burnt flavor, and it's just a different sort of deal. And I had coffee and a chocolate croissant every day. And so I do think that that's something that, you know, I talk a lot about design and certain things giving you memories and bringing back those memories. And when I come and have dinner here with my daughter, or if I meet friends here, or if we come and have breakfast here, those are things that I do remember, and just good memories of those sorts of things. You know, and I also remember, which I thought was interesting, is if you choose to sit yourself at an outdoor table, they do charge you a little more, because they're charging you for that experience of letting you sort of lounge around and be leisurely, and, you know, be on your phone or iPad or tablet or read or whatever, and just enjoy that experience. And so since they're not really bothering you as much, or you probably aren't eating as much, they do charge you a little more to sit in those outdoor seats. But just, I mean, the tables and chairs are similar to this. I mean, is it exact? No, because that's what Vegas is known for. They're known for that faux experience. But in design, that is one of the things we do talk about, is you're not trying to copy and paste. You're just trying to be inspired by certain things. And this definitely will give you that inspiration. And if you've been to Paris, of course, it's not the same thing. But it does give you that inspiration, and you probably would remember certain things about that you loved and enjoyed. And so I do bring my daughter here. She's been here 2 or 3 times, and our goal, of course, is to go to Paris sometime. And so this just gives her that taste and wants to do more. So we'll definitely do that, and probably bring you along with us. I love the floor to ceiling curtains. You know, I'm a fan of hanging the curtains as high as you can and double layering it so it gives you that drama. So this is how I would have decorated it. Probably would have did a different light fixture, but I do like it. It definitely fits the vibe of what it is, and I like the paneling they have on the walls with the mirrors and that sort of thing. It gives the illusion of making the room larger. And my favorite is probably the floor because it's definitely a classic Parisian style with that sort of tile. And again, they carried in the same color. So the burgundy repeats in the floor that they have in the chairs and the awnings and in the curtains. And so that repeats. And so it just ties it all together. Sometimes I just think there's a little too much exposure to things that I don't know if I want to expose to, honestly. There's sometimes some unsolicited craziness or nudity or whatever. And I don't mind talking to her about those things, but sometimes when you don't need to expose them to certain things, I just think you don't. So when we come and do things on the strip, we go to our event and I don't walk the strip with her. So if we're going to go see a show, we go to the show, or we go to dinner beforehand and we go to our show and then we go home. Or if there's been a couple times we've gone to the Bellagio and we go and see the display of the flowers and that sort of thing. And we have walked down to see the fountains from the boulevard side, and so we've done that a couple times. But I really keep my eyes on her and eyes on people that are near us and around us, because I do think that there are situations that I don't want to either have to be involved in or expose her to. And I just think, honestly, even if when I'm by myself, I do the same thing. So I just think that there are things you can avoid and should avoid. But, you know, there is always a lot to do, and there's good food and all those things, and you don't want to miss out on that either. I just think you have to be smart about when you do it and how you do it and where it is. That's just part of Vegas, you know, and I do love living here. There is a lot to do, but again, I think you just have to pick and choose and be smart about what you're doing. This. I love a good wine room and a well thought out wine space. And this, of course, is one. I like the exaggerated height of it. You know, they have all the decanters displayed and the crates of wine. I'm sure it's temperature controlled. It's very nice. I really like it. The bar is nice too. You know, open and with all of the alcohol displayed in the glasses. I like that. And this is a nice, dark, moody sort of space. I like how that is too. Again, the opposite of the outside, but each sort of space gives you a different vibe and a different feel. And again, that's how you should design. Everything should have its own feeling and designation of what it is. So sitting out on the balcony, patio sort of area, and looking up at the Eiffel Tower, even though this is not the real Eiffel Tower, I think they still did a good job of mimicking that. So you have an idea of what it looks like and what the feel of it is, again, to inspire you to go and visit. So that is one of the things, like I said, you know, when we first moved here, my daughter didn't know any different. You know, she's like, oh, we live in France. We live in France. I was like, no, baby girl, we live in Vegas. And she's like, well, they have an Eiffel Tower. And I was like, well, it's not the real Eiffel Tower. So I did bring her down here. We have not gone up and actually done the view from the top, so we may do that. but it is a goal of ours for me to take her to Paris since I've been. It is something that she's talked about and wanting to go and try and experience, and so we will definitely do that. But this gives you an idea of what you would experience when you go there. And one of the things I have talked with her about is I'm scared of heights. I don't like heights at all. And I remember going with the group that we went with. We took a group of our gymnastics team there, and the girls were asking me, "Oh, you don't like heights, but you're going to go on the top of the Eiffel Tower?" And I said, "Yes, because I never know if there's ever going to be another time that I'm going to be able to do that." And so I felt that while I was there, I was going to experience a lot of the things that I could experience there, because you never know if you're ever going to get a chance to go back. And so I tried to do as much as I could and see as much as I could and experience as much as I could and enjoy as much as I could and eat as many chocolate croissants and everything while we were there, because that's what you do. You experience those things and you try and live it to the fullest and enjoy those experiences while you have them. So I don't know, it's just, again, good memories, something that I wanted to make sure that I did all the way to the top and got beautiful pictures and just a good experience. The tables that you'd probably see in France are similar to this, but the top is a little different. The top would probably be more marble, probably a little more black and white. The bases are definitely French inspired with the iron bases, but the top would probably be marble. The chairs are the same style. I just remember the ones that we sat in, they were usually a little more black and white or more brown and white or tan and white. But I think this fits the entrance of where the rest of the restaurant is on the outside. So the entrance to the casino that faces the street is this burgundy color, burgundy and gold and brass. And so they're tying all of that in together. Also, I think the logo colors for the restaurant are this same burgundy gold sort of motif. And so all of that sort of ties in together, which is why I think they use the burgundy. But again, it is just the chairs are the same shape and they're the same material that you would see. They even have the same sit and feel. And so that, again, it's not a cut and paste. You're just being inspired. And that's what you should do in your own home. You don't want to cut and paste and do the same thing. You still decorate for or design for how you live and, you know, the color scheme that's inside your home. And so, you know, if you had more of a blue and white decor, these chairs come in multiple different colors. And so you could order the chairs in a blue and white tone or a green and white tone or a black and white tone or these same burgundy and cream chairs if that's what you were going for. So again, it's not a copy and paste. You are looking at different things to just be inspired by those, not trying to copy and paste it, because then it doesn't become yours. You're just basically copying what somebody else does. And I think you lose the inspiration or the design when you do that, and not be authentic to yourself and what you like when you're just copying and pasting. So I think it loses some of that. I don't know. I just, for me, I if I was going to do it, I still would try to be inspired by it, but find my own way to twist it and make it my own. So there is this prominent other accent color, which is this green that's everywhere. And, you know, as I mentioned in the other videos, green is not my favorite color, but I do like the accent of this green because when you are in Paris or France or other countries that have these natural materials like brass or copper, when they patina, they green up this color. And so it sort of gives you that feel of, you know, you're sitting in France and the building has been there for centuries and the copper is faded. I mean, and those are the sort of things that you try to recreate. in a different way in your own home. You know, you can always age brass or copper faster by putting an agent of some sort on it and age it, but I mean, it looks nice when it's aged on its own and you've sort of let it do the patina on its own. But that's what some of the greenery reminds you of. And then as you leave here and go inside, there's a huge like greenhouse atrium sort of area that gives you a lot of natural light inside there. And there's a lot of seating in there. It's a little more the energy is different just from being inside. And so I like sitting in there too. But of course, this is my favorite spot. I do like being outdoors. I like seeing the people walk by and getting the view of the Bellagio. I don't know what's going on with the fountains today. I think they're doing some sort of work, or maybe they just start later in the day and I'm just not aware of that. But so normally you're sitting out and you see the fountains, you hear the show, you see the water. And so there are those things that I like about sitting inside, or outside, but sitting inside, it's still nice. It's just a different vibe, you know? And so it just depends on what you like and what you enjoy. And, you know, I think you also design that way too. You know, different areas of your house will have a different vibe or different feel depending on what that area is used for. So you know, what you have the vibe in your bedroom is not going to be the same vibe that you have in your living room, the same vibe you have in your family room. So it should all be different or feel different or any of that because it's just a different part of your house. And so that's how you sort of design and decorate. I mean, it doesn't have to be the same flow, and I mean, that's what some designers do that. You know, you carry the whole theme throughout the entire house and all that, and you can do that. But I don't know. I think it gives it a little more personality if some of the areas definitely are their own space. And so that's why in my house, my lower level definitely all feels the same, but the rooms on the lower level all have their own feel and their own theme and their own sort of decor and design. And I don't know, I think that just brings a little more personality into it. And I don't know, I think it adds more to the experience if it's a little different. And so that's how I would do it. Hi. I'm good, man. How are you?
All right.
I like your hair.
Thank you.
I noticed it from the window. I'm sorry?
I showered today, thank you.
He wasn't talking to you.
I sure was.
Are you famous?
I wish. In my head, I am. No, I have a YouTube channel. I live here in Vegas, and so we're just doing some other lifestyle stuff. I have an interior design channel.
Oh, that's fire.
And so we're trying to do some other stuff and switch it up.
What is it called?
It's called Rooms by Roma.
Rooms by Roma.
Uh-huh.
All
Yep.
right.
Yep. I'm sorry?
YouTube?
On YouTube, yep. Yeah.
All these features on there for this.
So now,
Alright.
so now you got to check it out because now you're gonna see your face.
I got showered today.
Good thing. Caught you on a good day. I'll remember next time to come on a Wednesday. All right. Have a good one. All right. Am I famous? In my head, I am.